a hater. Don't nobody care. I'm paraphrasing. Hi and welcome to my channel. My name is Tiffy Starchild and this video contains so many spoilers for Steven Universe Future, which premiered on Cartoon Network Saturday, December 7th. I'm going to review and recap each episode one video at a time. I will, however, be releasing the videos two at a time. This is my very first time reviewing a television show and trying something like this, and as always, I do appreciate your constructive criticism and your feedback, so just let me know how you like this and then we can try it for other shows as well. And just in case you did not catch it before, this video contains all sorts of juicy spoilers. Spoilers everywhere. Don't watch it if you do not want this show spoiled. Okay. So as the name would suggest, Steven Universe Future takes place after the events of Steven Universe the movie, when Spinel came down and did some damage to Beach City. We see the city recovered, we see Little Homeworld completely built, so it's not completely certain how much time has passed, but enough. The first episode is called Little Homeschool and shows us exactly how Steven has gone about healing gems that are still corrupted, using the tears or the sweat or the spit, I don't know, they're really not clear, using the fluids of blue, yellow, white diamond, and himself. First of all, the idea of him like individually welcoming back gems that have been corrupted and they don't know what's going on, and he's there to just guide them, welcome them to Beach City. I think that is really, really super sweet. It makes me really happy to see. He's also very confident in saying exactly who he is. Steven Universe, not Rose Quartz, definitely not Pink Diamond. Like, he's come a really long way in his journey, and that's super cute. I am also very much in love with this new gem whose name is Cherry Quartz. I love her. I am obsessed with her. I stan a thick queen wearing a crop top. So then he drives, because he drives now. He drives Cherry Quartz into Little Homeworld and to what he introduces as Little Homeschool, where gems basically learn how to earthling. The crystal gems are teaching subjects that reflect their individuality. Peridot, how to garden. Pearl, how to use earth communication and earth technology like a cell phone. Bismuth, blacksmithering, I don't know what the actual word is. Amethyst, how to be super chill, I guess. And even Townie Vidalia is teaching how to create morphs. We see Garnet teaching like a yoga meditation course, but Steven also mentions that Garnet teaches lots of things, and the way he kind of hesitates when he says that, I feel like that's something that might be revisited in the future of the series. Garnet does say this really interesting line though. She says that their bodies are not just projections of light, but also of their inner souls. Now this is a little bit of foreshadowing, but we're just gonna jot that down and we're gonna just tuck that away for now. Amethyst and Steven are taking a moment to reflect on how dope everything has been, and Amethyst is like, yeah, everybody loves our school, and Steven's like, everybody, and Amethyst is like, man, a hater. Don't nobody care. I'm paraphrasing. Of course, I'm talking about Jasper, hating ass, being dramatic, living in the mountains away from everybody else. I think it's really important to point out that Amethyst is a real one, and she points out to Steven point blank that he needs to stop trying to fix people. Let Jasper be upset. What's that got to do with you? Even though that's been his thing since like the beginning. I actually love this version of Jasper because she's not the villain anymore. She's not big and imposing, but she's bratty and she's sulky, and she pretty much refuses to live with the rest of the gems in Beach City and Little Homeworld. And at first it seems like Jasper is just being difficult until you realize that Jasper has to adjust to this new era like everybody else. Her hobby is fighting, and ain't nobody to fight no more. But she's still hella rude, and my boy Steven gets so frustrated that he finally tells her like, yo, square up, and he almost gets dog walked during their fight until he reaches this point of frustration. She's taunting him. He's got a foot on his neck. She's saying that he could never do it on his own. He's always been a fusion. And so he starts to glow pink. His gem is glowing. He starts glowing, and boom, he has all the super strength. He's a little bit faster. He can jump higher, and he is really giving Jasper the work. This is weird to me because this is not the Steven that we know. Like our Steven, he would pick a flower and then use his magic spit to make it grow back. This fight with Jasper, he's tearing up the whole forest. That's not my boy. Jasper's just having a good old time because she's just been looking for somebody to fight, but Steven gets so frustrated and angry that he loses his temper and gets really violent, smashing Jasper to the floor. And she's fine, but he realizes that that's kind of out of character for him, and she's only upset when he actually apologizes because of course, Jasper. And Steven realizes that sparring with Jasper brought out something from him that he's never experienced before, and he wants more of that. So he asks Jasper if she'd be willing to teach him, and she basically tells him like, yo, that fight back there was your first and your only lesson. But here's the thing. I think that Jasper actually gained a lot of respect for Steven, and even her body language is completely different. Like, she crouches down to his height, puts a hand on his shoulder, and when he asks if he could come back and visit her later, she just kind of goes, you know, do what you want. Before, she was ripping up grass, calling them little earthlings because she didn't want anybody in her space. face. So I don't actually think that Jasper is gonna be an enemy. She's not gonna be an enemy. She's not gonna be the villain this season. She's still struggling with her past, and she's adapting to this change. And she still has to reconcile with some of the decisions that she's made, and she has to do her own version of that healing. If we do get a big bad this season, I think that Jasper's actually gonna come through clutch. This episode ends with Steven heading back into town, healing trees on the way, reflecting on love and growth and all of these things, but I'm left kind of unsettled if we're being completely honest. His change into Pink Steven was very different from what we've seen before. We've only seen Pink Steven once before, and that was when he was encountering White Diamond, and there was none of the human Steven that we knew at that point. We saw him scream, crack the ground, we saw him be extremely powerful, but none of our Steven was there because the human Steven was separated from him at that point. What does it mean when we see this Pink Steven take over our Steven? What is his gym doing? What does this mean for his future? Is he going to be in control of it? Because I think it's a super strong first episode for Steven Universe Future. We know that it's going to be a limited series, so we're not going to get as long as a season as we're used to, and it's the last one. Like, I'm not okay. But we get to see how Beach City is recovering. We get to see how they're thriving and moving forward. And even though we don't know who they're going to be fighting this season, I think one of the problems is actually going to be Steven. He really lost his temper just because another gym didn't want to do the healing and do the work and acclimate herself into town on his terms. Earth is not your colony, Steven. That's it for the recap of this first episode. Let me know what you think, but if you have seen the other episodes, please keep spoilers out of the comments. I also really want to know what your favorite part of this first episode was. For me, it's definitely my new homegirl, Cherry Quartz. Share this video with someone that you know loves Steven Universe, and if you are ready for the second episode recap, you can go ahead and just click right here. You can also find me on Twitter and on Instagram at TiffyStarChild, and I will see you next time.